Okay. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. We continue our tradition of listening to instructional talks from Master Shenhua's Chanqi. This is something that I picked up from, which I'm very grateful for, from Master Heng Chang, one of his disciples, who said that his teacher, Master Shenhua, our teacher, said that when you cultivate intensively, you need every day to listen to the proper Dharma. And this is why we're doing this. We're doing this every day, every night, because, especially during a Chanqi, is because we practice intensively, at least we're supposed to. Because if you don't listen to the good words, you will, when you have to pay attention, and you don't listen to the good words, you will go in the wrong direction just a little bit each day, and eventually you veer off course. Okay, and that's why it's so critical. These instructional talks are extremely, extremely important for you, for the people who actually practice intensively. So that's why one of the reasons I saw that I was disappointed when I went to the other places of cultivation is that they don't have this practice. It's so important. Okay, when you practice intensively, your mind is very fragile, so it needs to be reconditioned. It needs to be molded properly. It is so critical. This is a secret in Mahayana. Okay, and we're very, very blessed to be able to have this kind of experience. Okay, thank you. So, to the point where when I was at my master's temples, we listened every day to his talks, his sutra lectures. Okay, and it is very, very important. It's one of the great things I got from the 4.5 years I spent with him. Okay, it's a foundation that is invaluable. So I'd like to share this with you because it's meant to benefit everyone, not just us, but all the others, monks and nuns who wish to practice intensively, who wish to learn the proper Dharma. They're much better off listening to the proper Dharma every day. Okay? So enjoy your blessings. This doesn't come easy. Okay, and after once you get into this kind of routine, and you see that how beneficial it is and how critical it is at all stages of your practices, your spiritual practices, even your normal life. Okay, to listen to the good words every day, not just like the Catholics who only come to the churches and temples once a week on Sundays and listen to the good words, as they say. No, we listen to the good words every day. It's a huge, makes a huge difference, I believe, in our spiritual quest. Okay, in our not only spiritual quest, but it makes a difference in our daily lives as well. Okay, so back then I didn't have all these fancy audio, video equipment and translation. Actually, I have very poor information, very limited resources. But what I did is I listened to these tapes 40 times, 50 times, 100 times, over and over and over again. Okay, and it really helps. All right. Questions from yesterday, YouTube. Go ahead.
Ninja Checkmate asks, is it an offense if I break up a fight if I see one, or should I never intervene?
It depends. I typically don't intervene because you learn to mind your own business. However, the cases where somebody's getting hurt, and so you should try to do something to help people avoid getting injured. Okay, so I don't know about the rest of you how you feel about it. I'm very simple-minded. I just mind my business. Okay, the only thing I would intervene is that when there is harm to help prevent harms to happen to one party. That's about it. Okay. Next.
Cordelia asks, can one get a scolding or testing from a good knowing advisor in the form of a dream?
In the form of what?
In the form of a dream.
Of a dream. Sometimes that happens. It's a lot more. The scolding, don't take it literally. The scolding could be a gentle remark, could be satire, could be a physical beating, could be tongue lashing, verbal criticism, and so forth. There's many, many things. The scolding here, what is meant by that is that you deem worthy to be taught in whatever it means. And usually the lesson is not pleasant to you. It's not supposed to be pleasant to you because it's supposed to offend your ego. Scolding is unpleasant. When no one likes to be scolded, I still don't want to be scolded. So the meaning of scolding is that your ego rejects it. Ego dislikes it. Okay, and that comes from the wisdom of a good no advisor. I remember I was scolded by second patriarch when I was a novice. I wasn't even offended at all. So the scolding couldn't be called scolding because it's supposed to offend you, it's supposed to hurt you, it's supposed to hurt your ego. Okay, and if you don't understand, you have the inappropriate reaction, which I did. Okay, you won't get future scoldings at all. Okay, because it takes a lot of work to scold you. Don't think that the good no advisors can't wait for an opportunity to scold you. Not at all. Just mind their business. And you scold it because you deserve to be scolded, meaning you deserve to be taught. Scolding is a teaching. So I remember my master scolding me 5 times. Well, most of them was scolding, but basically gave me instructions 5 times, some of which are scolding. Okay? Sixth patriarch scolded me in a very subtle way. It's so beautiful. I mean, compared to the way that my master YongHua taught me versus how much Master Huineng taught me, there's a huge difference, like night and day. The subtlety and the clarity and the ingenuity of the lesson. It's so, I mean, there's a big difference. Okay? But you couldn't call it scolding at all. The way that the lesson transpired, you can't call it scolding, but it should be classified as scolding because it's pointing out my stupidity. Trust me. When you scold it and you have the wrong reactions, you fail the test again. All right. Anything else? In general, Mahayana, the good no advisors in Mahayana quite often need to scold you as part of Mahayana style of teaching. Okay? It saves time. You know why? The objective of Mahayana is to help you awaken, yes? One way or the other, you awaken small awakening or big awakening, right? You awaken to things that you weren't aware of, like as if you awaken from a dream. You live your life like as if you're in a dream. You cannot tell reality from a dream. When you're in a dream, you can't tell, okay? So you awaken from the dream, okay? And the scolding is a very useful tool to help you awaken quicker than waiting for you to ease off naturally from your sleep. The scolding the scolding requires energy, requires effort, requires strength in order to push you, to awaken you. You see that? So that's why in Mahayana, it's part of the sudden teaching where you scold people. It's part of sudden teaching. And as I told you, looking back, I chuckled when the second patriarch scolded me and did things to me and said, "Is that all?" In my mind, I said, "Is that all?" So it requires a lot of kung fu for the scolding to help you awaken. You understand that? It's a skill. It requires samadhi, it requires skills, it requires wisdom to be able to do it effectively. So when you scold it, and you say, "I disagree with you. You're so wrong. You don't understand me at all. Why do you always misunderstand me? Why is it the case?" So why you complain and you bitch and moan, okay? It takes a lot more work to help you awaken. Okay, anything else? Okay, go ahead.
好了，今天不要再多说是非了。前世因，今生受者是。 要知来世果，今生作者是。
If you want to know the causes of past lives, just look at the receipts of this life. If you want to know the fruitions of future lives, look at the actions of this life.
Okay, Q.
Dạ, dạ, Nam mô Di Đà Phật. Dạ, con tên là Minh và con có câu hỏi và nhờ thầy chỉ bảo. Dạ, con chiều qua con có ngồi kiết già được khoảng hơn 1 tiếng đồng hồ, thì con thấy cái cơ thể nó hơi lạ lạ, giống như nó có nóng nóng chạy trong người, với lại cái lỗ tai con giống như nó cứng cứng, nó feel nó hơi lạ lạ, thì con không biết là nó là sao. Con nhờ thầy chỉ giúp, có đó có gì không hay sao? Dạ.
Master, my name is Minh. I have a question that I sat in full lotus for more than an hour, and I feel a little bit different, that my body is heating up, and then my ear is a little bit hardened, so I feel a little bit weird. Is that okay?
Yes, it is. Someone should talk to him. Okay, those are good states. We call good states. Good things are happening. The qis are moving around the body. That's a good sign. So, someone local should talk to him. Okay, explain things to him. Okay, in short, it's a good thing. Don't worry. Continue. To you see even better things happen. And you have worries, by all means ask us anytime, and ask the people around there. There's plenty of experience and expertise to help you address those concerns. Okay? Okay. YouTube question.
Apple asked, does scolding mean people say something on a spiteful purpose?
Not always spiteful. Scolding meaning that you say something that afflicts you, that offends your ego, that you don't like to hear. Okay? It's like you are having a good dream here, and someone says, hey, it's time to wake up. You say, well, wait a minute, can I finish my dream? Okay, so that's resistance right there. Necessitates a scolding. All right, let's continue.
这2句话是说的，说我们人呢，在这个6道轮回里边。
These 2 sentences meant we people are trapped inside the 6 realms of the wheel of incarnation.
逃不出去这个因果2个字。说我知道我前生种的什么因。
We can't run away from causes and effects, these 2 words. To say I know what causes I planted in the past lives.
就是你今生所接受的，这就是你前生所造的。
Is what you have received in this life, and this is what you created in the past.
我今生富贵，前生呢就净做布施了。
For example, I'm rich and noble in this life. In the past life, all I did was offering.
No, I extensively made offerings. So, if you're rich and have social status, this life is from having made extensive offerings in prior lives.
"我今生贫贱，前生呢就不肯做布施。
I am poor and lowly in this life. In the past life, I was unwilling to make offering."
Yeah, and basically it says there, the Chinese way is not clear. It says unwilling to make offerings, meaning that you're very stingy. It's not about unwilling to make offerings. You're very stingy in the prior lives, okay? And you had the opportunity to make offerings and you refused. Okay? And this happens to, especially applicable to the modern times because we are too smart. We, in being smart, we want to make sure that our money is put to good use. We're very stingy in other ways, in other words. And therefore the lesson here is that the smarter you are, the more stingy you become, okay? And you miss out on opportunities to practice giving. That's why in the future, you'll be poor and destitute. It's that simple, okay? Sometimes I find that the Chinese, they simplify too much and it doesn't make sense to us, modern era people, okay? But this it still holds true today. That is, these habits, these habits carry on from lifetime to lifetime. If you're stingy this lifetime, is because in a prior life you also were stingy, and in a future life you also will be stingy as well. So you're not creating new blessings for yourself. People of the world think of making money as is based on the skills and the smarts and the luck. Not at all. In Buddhism, the fact you're well off today is because you practice giving in a prior life. It's something that smart people have a hard time believing. How do I know that? How do we know that smart people have a hard time believing in practicing giving, in practicing in having a spirit of giving? Yeah, Blue.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, mình bố thí ở thế gian này thì mình phải cần bố thí, rồi mình về Tây phương cực lạc mình cần bố thí không thầy?
Okay, she says, in this world we practice giving. When you go to Pure Land, do you practice giving? Absolutely. You practice giving everywhere you go. Okay? So the reason that you can tell the people who are stingy and refuse to give is because they really believe that the good things they have in this life are based on their skills and their smarts. Okay? Yeah. Skills and smarts are only a small portion of why you're so rich today, why you're so comfortable today. Okay? And it's funny because I noticed that the Asian families, the rich Asian families, very interestingly, the rich ones in Asia, you know what they do with their children? They teach them to go to temples and make offerings. And those are the families that are rich from generation to generation to generation to generations. Whereas we are so smart, we said, I'm going to do a startup, I'm going to start a new business, I'm going to invest in stocks, I make a lot of money, I play lotto, I make a lot of money, okay, I win a lot of money. And what people don't realize, that's from your prior acts of giving in the past. That's why you win the super lotto, and I don't. Okay, that's why you become a Warren Buffett. You become a Jeff Bezos. If you think that Jeff Bezos is smarter than you, no, he's not. He is not as smart as I know so many professors, okay, who are so smart. They're geniuses and they're poor, okay? So you look at you gossip a little bit, you see that the rich people, they say, oh, I'm rich because I'm smart. I'm smart enough to hang on to the money I make, and I can spot opportunities and make the proper investments. You know, the reason that you can spot opportunities and make the right decisions is really primarily based on your blessings that accrue from your past acts of giving. This is something that modern day people have a hard time understanding. They're too full of themselves. It's a lot more complicated than you think. It's just that Master Shigao may see something as simple as this, but this have very profound implications for people's lives. If you really believe in this, you have to understand the importance of giving. Just give, and you see for yourself. Good things happen to the people who give. Okay, and the people who are stingy, they really struggle a lot more than you think. Okay, so this affects your children, your nephews and nieces. You don't know the kind of tremendous gifts you give to your children when you teach them about the importance of giving. Just give and give and give and give more. Comment, Jewel Mountain.
Jewel Mountain says, my ex-boss's whole family went to a top school in Korea, but the richest person in the family didn't even go to a college. She made a fortune doing real estate.
Yeah, you see, smarts is not necessarily the sole reason for being rich and powerful and successful. Look at our president. He's not that smart. Okay? He has a lot of problems. In fact, he made it because of his prior blessings. This guy has been an emperor before. That's why he acts like an emperor. You too.
Alta-D asks, Master, what about the people like Mr. Trump or other powerful people who are friends with the demons? Is it possible for them to make a so-called deal with the devil?
I don't know about them. I can't care less about what they do. They deal with the devils. But when they cross my path, that's when we have problems. I can't care less what they do. Is their business. Okay? So we don't need to worry about that. We just worry about our own work. That's all. Of course, you smart people have a problem. They're too smart. That's why they exploit others. Okay? We never stress being smart. We never stress about success. We never tell you deserve to be successful. It's not necessary. If you have the blessing, you should be successful on your own, no matter what we do. All we can do is help a little bit, but primarily it's your own blessings. Okay? But the trouble with smart people is that they're overconfident. They think they're the master of their own destinies. They're not. If they only take the time to look closely at themselves, their success, their wealth, their well-being, okay, it's because good things happen to them in a way that's unpredictable. They could not foresee it themselves. Okay? So, the success that people rave about and wealth that people admire is overrated. It's really from blessings. It's not as much from your smarts and skills and as much as you think. Yes, YouTube question.
Alta-D asks, what if my parents are stingy? How can I help them have better blessings next life?
Well, you create blessing, you give it to them. That's another way to give them, to help them create blessings. Okay. Primarily, the wealth you have, the well-being you have today is from your blessings. If you have money, if you have wealth, if you have a car, a church, it's from your prior blessings. It doesn't come from. It doesn't come haphazardly. It happened because you exhaust your blessings. You make a withdrawal of your blessings. Okay? So if you keep on making withdrawals, eventually you'll be poor. That's all. And this is such a fundamental concept in Mahayana Buddhism that is so important to everyone. Okay? Just think about it. I ask you to reassess your life and your success and the good things that you got. Okay? It's from prior causes. If you believe that, you want to plan good causes now so that you continue to receive those good benefits. Give me an example. Let's say right now you're doing real well. Okay? You're rich, you're powerful, and all those things. Okay? It's based on the law of cause and effect. It's based from your prior acts of giving. So far, so good. There's no two ways about it. Buddhism is very simple. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. Okay? Good things happen to you because you did good in the past. In particular, your wealth comes from past giving. So far, so good. If you believe that, then you want to keep on giving. Okay? It shows. People who have wisdom, they understand immediately. The people who practice Mahayana before, they have no problems practicing giving. I wasn't one of them. I was too smart. I said, if I give you money, what's in it for me? The only time in my prior life that I gave, when I went to this temple in Westminster, it's called Medicine Master Buddha Temple. Okay? I've been going to temples a lot, okay? My life, but never gave. I said, no. What did you do for me to give you something? Okay? Right? It's just logical. It's just like if I go into a store, I pay money for merchandise received. I go to a temple, what did you do for me? For me to give you money. Okay? So I went to my master's temple, I gave him nothing either. Actually, I was upset. They would have a note that says, give $5 or $10 for your lunch. I said, say what? I have to pay for lunch? I came here, it's not good enough. I spend money for gas, mileage, and all those things. I still have to pay for lunch? What kind of nonsense is this? My presence, isn't it worth something to you? That's how stupid I was. It's funny, because my whole time at my master's temples, I gave nothing whatsoever. I refused to give anything. I worked, yes. Contributed, yes. But money, never. So the only money I gave to a temple was at this Medicine Master Buddha Temple in Bosa on Magnolia and Lamson and general area. And it's when they only had 2 houses, and so it was New Year's Day. So I still remember. So my friends, the Vietnamese have this tradition on New Year's Day, Lunar New Year's Day. You go to temples and you destroy the temple. You collect, you climb on the temple there. They have this orange orchard. So there are a few orange trees. So people will go climb up and then grab the orange tree and destroy the orange tree until the next year. So I didn't climb up there, but it's a woman's temple, nun's temple. So they had a sign that said, we're trying to build a temple. I had no idea about Buddhism or anything. I just went along for fun, like most people. And then they had a sign that says, we are building a temple. We hope you will support our efforts. So we have 2 small houses. Okay, so I wrote a check for, I forgot, maybe few thousand dollars. And that's my only donation to a temple. And guess what? Now I'm poor. I deserve what I get. Okay, so it is very important for you especially to think about your future, the future of your children. I urge you, okay, to give, to teach your children to give. When you give, you never lose. If you're worried about your children's future, give on their behalves. Okay? You won't be sorry, I assure you. Whatever you give is never lost. If you know how to give properly, you get back manyfold. That's why I hit myself in the past. I was so stupid. Instead of giving the money to that Vietnamese temple, I should have given the money to my master's temple. I should have at least 10 temples by now. No one told me. It really sucks. Okay? And so you understand that. You see, eventually, you see the connection between giving and the good things that happen to you. And the more giving, the more good things happen to you. In a similar fashion, similar vein, let's say good things are happening to you. Okay? Because of prior condition. You practice giving, and therefore, good things are happening to you. And then you are so smart, you're so full of yourself, you decide, I know everything, I'm successful, I'm God. I'm the emperor. Okay? I do as I please. So I incite people to riot. Okay? So instead of giving, now you're causing problems. And that will put a stop to your blessings. So you do good things, good thing happens to you. In that process, you have a mixture of good things and good causes and bad causes. So while you're having good things, you watch these people, the rich people, the powerful people, they do some stupid things to stop them. Stop they're receiving the great benefits. Look at how the high and the mighty fall in the history of mankind because they created some bad karmas and we put a stop. The good results. So be careful. Okay? This is something you see for yourself. It's immutable. You cannot change it, at least at your level. Okay.
这是你今生所接受的，这就是你前生所造的。比如我今生富贵，前生呢是净做布施的。我今生贫贱，前生呢就不肯做布施。那么这是前生的问题和今生的问题。我们要想来生呢，说是我怎么样子呢？
Then, these are the problems of the past lives and the problems of the current life. If we want to think about the future lives, how would I be?
那就要问问你今生怎么样做。你今生要是净做功德，行布施。
Then you need to ask yourself, how are you doing in this life? If you strive to do meritorious and virtuous deeds and offer and make
来生一定是富贵的。你今生要是不做布施，来生一定是贫贱的。
In the future lives, for sure you will be rich and have social status. If you don't offer in this life, in the future lives, you're bound to be poor and lowly.
Okay, YouTube has a comment.
Apple says, I was cheated by a professional liar many years ago. After that, I hesitate to give money to other people. It looks like as if I'm a fool by them, means I'm not smart enough and I will get hurt.
Yes, absolutely. It happens because yes, at times when you have money, people will come and cheat and steal from you. That's expected. However, that should not stop you from giving when you're given a chance. There's a difference between giving and being stolen. Okay? Being stolen to me is part of is the price we have to learn in life. Okay? We all have to pay a price to learn. But it has, it's not connected to the fact that we as human beings should have loved values in that instead of taking constantly. You should give. Then you won't be sorry. In particular, eventually you give, eventually you luck out and give to a sage like Master YongHua. Oh boy, that's why I regret it myself. I said, gee, if I knew that he's a great sage, I'm supposed to give to great sages. My God, I'd be, rolling in dollars right now in temples, at least 200 temples. Case in point, in our world, you heard of Master Xingyun. He has a temple here in Xilai Temple. Okay, Master YongHua said, in a prior life, Xingyun was very poor, and he gave to a practical Buddha. Only a practical Buddha. And typical of these Hinayana people, they receive money from you and they say, what do you wish? Thank you. What do you wish? So Xingyun in a prior life said, I would like to be a mighty monk like you and with a lot of temples so that I can support Buddhism like you. And sure enough, now he has 200 temples or more. Okay? So one offering to one practical Buddha, and he has 200 temples. Imagine if I gave $1,000 to Master YongHua, I would have 1,000 temples by now. That's why, you don't worry about it. You keep giving and giving and giving, eventually you get lucky. Okay? You never lose when you give. Comment, YouTube.
Alta-D says, my parents say I give too much money. It's too bad because I see the blessings. It's just annoying when my mom nags me and saying I'm going to be poor.
My entire life was spent, in my prior life, I didn't give because I felt I would earn everything, therefore I expect everyone to do the same. Okay? It's rather poor way to live. You're so stingy. I was so stingy. And I demand that it has to make sense to me. And people have to earn it like I have to earn it. I came to this country with nothing. I have to earn it, everything. So I expect everyone to, to do the same thing. But in my prior life, I wasn't happy because when you're that stingy, you're never happy because it's never enough. No matter how much you have, you still want more. It's so piss poor, you ask me. Huh? That's not smart at all. It's stupidity when you think about it. Smart people are stupid in the end because they're too smart. They only believe in themselves. They only believe in the dreams they're living in, that's all. That's the truth. You can be very smart, very successful in your dreams. So what? Eventually you have to wake up. Okay? And then one day, I decided to do charity work for the first time in my life. And I lucked out and I did a lot of good work for that charity organization, saved them and so forth, and rescued them from bankruptcy, near bankruptcy. And because of that, because that simple act of saving an organization, okay, which does charity work, child abuse, okay, because of that, next thing that happened, good thing that really happened to me was to meet Master Shinhua's Dharma. So I noticed in my life, the great things that happens usually comes from doing a great thing that benefits a lot of people. You watch it for yourself and you see. That's what happened to me. Yes, when you practice giving and give, eventually you see, oh, there's a pattern. There's a pattern. When you give, all of a sudden good things happen to you. When you do a lot of great giving, great things happen to you. That's when you become less stingy. It's beyond your comprehension. Okay? You just make the connection. Go on.
这个世界的人，你不要说得到许命通和天眼通，你知道它。
People of this world, you should not claim that you have gained the predestination penetration and heavenly eyes penetration.
Yeah, that's a knowledge of past lives and so forth. It's okay. Don't worry.
是个怎么来历？你看这个世界上，有富贵的，有贫穷的。
And you know that person's past history. You see this world has rich and noble, poor and lowly.
说是啊，在这个共产党的国家，也没有富，也没有贫，这也不是的。
That is to say, in this communist country, there's no rich nor poor, but this is not so neither.
你看他那个做官的啊，虽然说他讲啊，怎么样讲道理，或者是讲仁慈、公平。
You see that official, although he said, how reasonable he is, or he is the most benevolent and fair.
但是他还是那个做主席的，就比那个老百姓尊贵得多。
But still, being the chairman, he is much more honorable than ordinary citizens.
所以呢，无论在哪一种的国家里边，也不能一定平等的，完全平等。
So, no matter in what kind of country, it still cannot be equal for sure, cannot be completely equal.
不能完全平等，就是有这个富贵的和贫贱的这种问题。
Cannot be completely equal is to have this rich and noble and poor and lowly problem.
那么在今天呢，我想起来以前一位大德，这位大德是在汉朝的时候才到中国。
So today, I remembered there was a great virtuous one. This great virtuous one arrived in China during the Han Dynasty.
他原来呀是安息国的人， 安息国就是一个很小的国家，接近这个印度那个地方。
Originally, he was from Pashan. Pashan was a very small country near India.
这个大德叫什么名字呢？叫安清。安，平安的安，清就是清净的清。又有一个名字叫安世高。世界的世，高矮的高。
What was the name of this great virtuous one? His name was An Qing. He also had another name called An Shigao.
这一位啊，大德。他生来非常聪明，学什么都比其他人学得快。
This great virtuous one was born very smart. He learned everything faster than the others.
他的父亲呢是安息国的国王，他的母亲呢就是安息国国王的这个太太。
His father was the emperor of Pashan. His mother was the Pashan empress' wife.
那么他生出之后啊，就学所有的这个医卜星象
Right after he was born, he began to learn all the subjects of medicine, fortune-telling, stars, and
astrology, and physiognomy.
And physiology.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's very Chinese, so.
就是给人看病，卜就是算卦，星啊就是天文晓，相就是给人相面，什么他都。
Medicine is to treat patients. Fortune-telling is divination. Stars are astronomy. Physiognomy Thank you. Physiognomy is to tell fortune from examining one's face.
You know, that works. You know that, don't you? Your facial features reflect your mind. Case in point, Master YongHua, when he was younger, his face like this. You know that? You notice that in the black and white photos of his, when he was younger, 20s and 18s and so forth, his face like this, triangular, smart aleck. This is smart aleck. Too much mental processing, so it has to be big up here, and this has to be small so that it can move your jaws faster. Okay. So a lot of thinking, a lot of talking. Okay. And then when after he became enlightened and he started, having to teach, his face turned like this. You notice his photos, his face then became rectangular. Okay, meaning what? It's balanced now. Balance between thinking and talking. You see that? This is too much thinking. This is balanced. So he acquired wisdom. So physiognomy, the Chinese is advanced, very, very advanced. More so than the Westerners. It's useful, actually. You look at people and you can tell. Continue.
小的会，不但晓人类所有的学问，而且他晓兽类飞禽呢这个语言。
He can master anything he learned. Not only did he learn all the human knowledge, but also learn the beasts and birds' language.
And when you find someone very ugly, anyone met anyone very ugly? I used to have a nun like that. At Lu Mountain Temple. I don't know you guys remember. I have a nun real short, about the same height as Master YongHua. And then a nun who is so ugly. So ugly that, never mind. So ugly because her mind is so filthy. It's incredible. And she stole from me left and right, money, Dharma, anything and everything. It's kind of interesting. And because of that, she's down to nothing. That's an example when you create offenses. Okay? She was doing pretty well, and then she's down to nothing. So you should be practicing giving and avoid creating offenses. Anyway, go on. Oh, that woman is so ugly. Every day I look at her. Should I can you today? Or next week? She's that bad. She thought she would kiss up to me and, oh, Master, you're so wonderful. But every day, I tell you, every day I look at her and say, I can't take this much longer from you. I have to can you today. and these people, there's something else. So ugly. Go on. It shows in your face, trust me. The ugly mind, ugly heart shows in facial features.
这个兽类互相讲话，他也听得懂。这个飞禽互相谈话，他也听得懂。
When the beasts were talking to each other, he also understood. When the birds were talking to each other, he also understood.
And really, my comment is, big deal. Who cares? He understands the birds, what they're talking, what they're saying to each other. Oh, you sing so nice. What for? It's so Chinese. I can't stand this. Seriously, the Chinese will be impressed, but I'm totally unimpressed. I don't want to know what the birds are saying, okay? It's noisy enough. Don't you think? It's so Chinese. I'm I don't know why it's, they even have to bring it up. Yes, YouTube comment.
Emily says, I just remembered a connection. When I was in my teens to early 20s, I would always give money to the homeless. Then when I was about 21, I got into a major car accident that left me immobile in the passenger seat. My boyfriend ditched me with the engine running, but then a homeless man that no one saw came and turned off the engine.
You see? You see? Cool. That I like to hear. Not what the birds, the beasts tell each other. Excellent. Good story. Continue.
有一天呢，他就看见呢，和很多人在一起玩的时候啊，就看见一群雁。
One day, when he was playing with many people together, he saw a group of swallows.
See me, my big mouth. He's proving to me that I'm stupid. He's not. Go on.
这个雁自己就对自己讲啊，说是俺们今天呢，有人给我们送吃的东西来。
This swallow was talking to itself and said, "Today someone will bring us food to eat."
他就对大家讲，说是啊，这个雁说啊，等一等，有人给送东西吃。
Then he told everybody. He said the swallow said that in a little while someone will bring food for them to eat.
YouTube comment, yes.
Diego says, I've seen a lot of people, especially in Hollywood. They look so beautiful in their physical aspect, but they have horrible habits and attitudes. And then there are some ugly people like me, but we're not so bad.
It's because you don't belong in Hollywood, that's why. Continue. Of course, there are always exceptions, but I would swear to you that none is so ugly. You guys remember, don't you? The kind of person look at, no, I don't want. You're so ugly that it hurts to look at you. I'm kidding. Go on.
然后大家当时也不相信，等一等，果然就有人呢给这个雁呢送了很多粮食给这个。
At that time, nobody believed him, but sure enough, after a while, someone brought over lots of food for these swallows.
I don't know about you, but I see swallows. I can't care less about whether they have food to eat or not. I'd rather catch them and grill them. It's so Chinese, I don't get it. Go on. I hope he has a point here.
来喂这个雁，那么大家就认为他是很奇怪的，他会懂得这个小鸟谈话。
To feed these swallows, everyone thought that he was very strange. He would understand the birds' conversation.
See, if you really can understand the swallow language, don't tell people. They're going to think you're crazy. Continue. Is there a point here? Oh, see?
就像孔子有个徒弟叫公冶长，他懂得小鸟说话，又懂得这个兽讲话。
Just
move
like
along. Yeah, move along, move along.
it's just like
too much.
Confucius had a disciple called Gong Chang who understood birds' language and beasts' language.
Okay.
我们这个安世高，他有这种学问，等于把所有的学问呢，他都学得很充足了。
Then this guy, An Shigao, he had such knowledge. All the knowledge he learned sufficiently.
YouTube comment.
Jane says, in Chinese culture, swallows have cultural importance. In the springtime, swallows came.
Go on and continue. Is there a point?
That was the whole post.
I will tell you the kind of swallow I'm interested in. Would you like to know? In the south of France, I saw this in 60 Minutes, a long, long time ago. South of France, the culinary capital of the world. In the winter time, the bunch of swallows or small birds, they would migrate, okay? And they would stop by this town, maybe Provence or Marseille or something, and they would take a break, right? In people's backyard and so forth. What do the French do? This time of the year, they would trap these birds. Okay? And then they catch them without harming them. And this is not for the children, by the way. Children, please plug your ears. And then they would feed them with corn, with the best food for sparrows, okay? Probably organic, stuff. 40 years ago, didn't have this thing called organic stuff, okay? So I imagine it's the highest grade food for birds. And then so the birds become plumper and plumper and plumper, And they would grill it. When they're plump enough, they grill it. And they put the spices, Chinese spices, not Chinese spices, French spices, not 5 Chinese spices. Okay? And butter. and then they serve it. So this is reported 60 Minutes. I'm not lying to you. Please go back to 60 Minutes archives 40 years ago. And then they put the whole bird into the mouth. So far, so good. And the French, when they eat, the French, they would wear this what do you call that? The tablier, the thing to protect their shirt. Huh? Apron, not apron. Apron is below the belly button. The one by your neck. You guys really are so ignoramuses. YouTube comment. What is that called again?
It's called a bib.
A bib, thank you. A bib. Oh God, you guys are so Asian. This is so uncultured. So you wear a bib here, okay? So put the bird into the mouth. This is what French people do when they eat. It's normal for them to get the white. You go to a restaurant. It's not uncommon for them back then to take a white cloth napkin, and then instead of a bib, they put it here and they tie it around the neck. You know that? You've seen it before, right? Go back to old French movies. I guarantee you that's what they used to do. So Guo Yin, I told you not to listen to this. Okay? It will be shocking for you. So they put the entire plum bird, into the mouth. Okay? And then they take the bib, they flip it up like this. Okay? And they bit into the bird, and you can see the white bib becoming red with blood. And they chew the entire bird, bones and everything. Once a year only, this is a known, very famous delicatessen in southern France. I'm fascinated by those stories, not these types. Sorry. Yes. Too bad I'm vegetarian nowadays. I could swear to God I would love to go there in the wintertime and try this dish. Yes, Pink.
Master, what kind of result comes from that type of behavior?
Never really look into it. Let's move on. Come on, live once, man. For once. Don't be so scared. The Koreans don't like it. Look at the Koreans. Oh, they're so serious. Do you agree with me? Why would you want to listen, bird's language? I don't get it. I really fail to understand the significance of learning the bird's language. I can really see the language, the Persian language, and Polish and so forth, but bird language? Go on. You see, there must be a point somewhere here.
然后啊，他父亲就死的时候，他就做皇帝了。
Later, when his father passed away, he became the emperor.
做了皇帝，这个来问他这个事情啊。
Became the emperor. This one came to ask him this. This matter.
这个文武百官呢，一天总有很多的问题来问他，不是这个问题，就是那个问题。
Numerous civil and military officials always had many questions for him every day. If it was not this question, it was that question.
他觉得，这太麻烦了，这个做皇帝太没有意思了。
He felt, this is too much trouble. Being the emperor is so boring.
他就不做皇帝了，把皇帝让给他的叔父了。
So he didn't want to be the emperor anymore and passed the emperor position to his uncle.
See, I rest my case. What's the point in learning a bird's language? Huh? Now he's back to emperor and all that emperor stuff. Nothing to do with birds anymore. Seriously, it's so Chinese to be impressed by bird language. Go on. Yes, Green.
Master, do you think it has to do with the poetry, because you said something about Chinese or into writing poetry and being lyrical?
I think the Chinese are too easily impressed with strange things. I can talk to birds. I know what to talk about. They bad-mouthing you. That kind of thing. I would love if I knew bird language. This is what I would do. I would send a bird over to your house and then have him come back and report me what you do. That would be useful. Right? I mean, I wouldn't want to care to know if they're going to bring some food to the birds. Who cares? I would have a whole army of birds flying around reporting. That would be fun. But, otherwise, who cares? The Chinese are so weird. I mean, I understand the bird language. Good for you. I'm so impressed. Geez. Oh, you're so special. Seriously. Continue. Oh, yeah.
他也没有结婚，所以在家他就经持戒律。
Neither was he married, so he vigorously upheld precepts. As a stay-home person, vigorously uphold precepts.
经持戒律，他一不做皇帝了，就出家了，就出家做了比丘。
Once he quit being the emperor, he left the home life. He left the home life and became a bhikkhu.
Why? I love to be his shifu. See, that was an interest. I mean, that's real. Continue, please.
做比丘啊，在和他一起修行啊，就有一个比丘，也非常聪明。
Being a bhikkhu and cultivating, he met a fellow bhikkhu who was also very smart.
也是学佛法，学得很快的，一学就明白了。可是啊，这个人呢，就有脾气，脾气很大。
He was also fast at learning the Buddha Dharma. Once he studied, he understood the Dharma immediately. But this person had a temper, a big temper.
他欢喜布施，欢喜做功德。可是做完了功德，他就要发一顿脾气。
He liked to make offerings, liked to do meritorious and virtuous deeds, but after finished doing such deeds, he would lose his temper.
也不知道为什么他就要发脾气，就这个嗔恨心很重。
He don't know why he would lose his temper. This hateful mind was just so very heavy.
If I may dare to put words in Mary Jo's mouth, he's very manic. Okay, the temper, it's usually it's manic. Can't control himself. He has to attack someone verbally. Yes, continue.
那么以后他出家修道啊，有人供养他，布施给他。
Later, when he left the home life to cultivate the way, people would make offering to him, give alms to him.
譬如这个人呢，就这么供养他了，也没有称呼他说大德某某啊，他也发脾气了。
For example, if someone offered him just like this, if he didn't address him as great virtuous so-and-so, he would lose his temper.
Would you dare scold this person? I wouldn't even touch him with a 10-foot ball. Go on.
不要你这供养，不受供养，就发脾气，脾气最大。
Hey, I don't want your offer. I don't accept offering. Then he would lose it, and he had the biggest temper.
那安世高啊，就对他讲了，说你的说老通参， 你的聪明智慧呀，和我是一样的。
This Shigao told him, "My good old fellow cultivator, your smarts and wisdom are the same as me."
I don't think old needs to be translated, right? It's just old is an expression. Yeah. 老大, 老二. It's just don't have to be translated old number 2 or old biggest. Okay, continue.
Here, old means actually like close, like a very close co-cultivator.
Yeah, my good fellow cultivator. You don't need to say old. Yeah, in Chinese old, but in English is not old. Here English, has this imagery of someone old and wrinkled. It's not. Doesn't have the proper connotation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Continue.
可是你这个嗔恨心呢，就比我厉害的多了。你呀，将来恐怕要堕落的。可是虽然你堕落，
But your hateful mind is a lot worse than mine. You in the future will probably fall, but although you fall,
我呀，如果没有正果得道啊，那就我就没有法子啦。如果我要得道了呢，我就还要来度你。
if I don't certify pollution and attain the way, then I have no way to save you. But if I attain the way, I will come back to save you.
说完了这话，他说：“我要去到广州啊，到中国的广州，去还我许生的命债去。许生就是前世。”
After he said this, he said, "I will go to Guangzhou in China, to pay back my past life's life debt."
命债就是我因为杀了人呢，现在我要还这个报，还这个杀生的报。
Life debt. Life debt is because I killed somebody. Now I need to pay back this retribution, pay back this killing retribution.
于是乎，他就走到广州。到广州当时啊，这是在汉朝的时代，汉了桓帝的时代。
So he traveled on foot to Guangzhou. When he arrived in Guangzhou, it was the Han Dynasty, the era of Emperor Emperor Han Huan.
因为时局很烂的，这土匪就很多。他走到广州，就遇到一个年轻的人。
Because of the chaotic political situation at the time, there were many bandits. He traveled on foot to Guangzhou and met a young man.
这个年轻的人一见着他了，就把这个身上的佩刀就拔出来，说我这。
Once this young man saw him, he pulled off the saber he carried and said,
说我一定要杀你，我这回可遇着你了。他就欢欢喜喜地说好了。
This time I must kill you. this time I finally meet you. He, An Shigao, then gladly replied,
那你杀我了，为什么你对我这么大的火气呀？你知道吗？这个少年说我不知道啊。
Okay, then you kill me. Why are you so angry at me? Do you know? This young lad said, I don't know.
我见着你就不顺眼，我看见你我就要杀你，我对你就觉得你是最不好的。
You annoyed the heck out of me from the first sight. As soon as I saw you, I wanted to kill you. I'm against you. I feel you are the worst.
这个安世高就说：“为什么你要杀我？你不知道，但是我知道。”
Then this Dharma master An Shigao said, "You don't know why you want to kill me, but I know."
因为前生我杀过你，所以今生你见着我就要杀我。我现在来也就是叫你杀我。
Because in the past life I killed you, so in this life, once you saw me, you wanted to kill me. Now I just arrived. I'm here to let you kill me.
说完了这话，他就把头一伸，说：“请你杀我了。”这个面上一点惧啥也没有，也不害怕。
After saying that, he stuck out his head, said, "Please kill me." Wow, there was not even a little bit of fear on the face, not afraid at all.
就好像那个四祖那么把头伸出叫这个使臣长，但是这个少年可不是那个使臣。
He stuck out just like the fourth patriarch, who stuck out the head and told the officer to chop it. But this young lad was not an officer.
这个少年说好，拿一把刀就把他头给割下来了，割下他就死了。
This young lad said, "Okay." He took the saber and chopped the head off in a single blow. Chopped off and he died.
但是一般人一看，这个人怎么他也不怕死。
But a group of people saw this. How could this person be like this? He was not afraid of death.
他说他前生杀过你，今生你还应该杀他，很奇怪了，很奇怪，这个人也都就散开了，走了。
He said, "He killed you in the past life. This life you should kill him." Very strange. These onlookers then scattered away.
走了，这个安世高，他这个灵魂又回到安息国去了，又给这个安息国的国王做儿子。
Passed away, this An Shigao, his spirit, went back to Persian and became the son of the emperor again.
又托生给这国王做儿子，做儿子长16、17岁，到这个年纪长成了，他又出家了。
Reborn as the son of this emperor, as the son grew up, 16, 17 years old, till the age of grow up, he left the home life again, left the home life.
出家了，他又到中国来。 度我这个外国的通餐呢，外国的通餐。
He went to China again. Went to China for what? He said, I want to save my foreign co-cultivator. Ah, that foreign co-cultivator.
这个度外国通餐，他又想去找杀他这个年少的这个人，找他杀这个人，杀。
This is to save the foreign co-cultivator. He wanted to look for this young lad who killed him. Look for the one who killed him.
他天生的杀他这个人。那么这回他不是说去还去杀这个少年的人呢？他
In the past life, the one who killed him. Then this time, he said to go to the place where the young lad who killed him was.
去想渡他，就到广州啊。
He was going there, wanting to save him. Then he went to Guangzhou.
这个少年杀他这个人现在已经不是少年，是中年的人啦。他到他呢说：“你记得母。”
This young lad, the one who killed him, was no longer a young lad, but a middle-aged man. He went to his place and said,
年母曰：“有一个和尚，你一刀把他杀死了，你还记得吗？”
Do you remember, a certain year, a certain month, there was a monk. You killed him with a saber, with a single blow. Do you still remember?
这个人说：“啊，是有这么回事啊，怎么样啊？啊，你是不是想给他报仇来啊？”
This man said, there was such a thing. What? What do you want? Do you want to revenge him?
他说：“不是，那个人就是我，我也就是那个人，啊，就是你杀那个人。”哎，这个人怎么回事啊？
He said, no, that person was me. I was that person, the one you killed. How so?
他说：“你把我杀了，我又到安息国，现在我又长这么大了。” 所以我现在来告诉你这种因果。
He said, after you killed me, I went back to passion. Now I have grown. Ah, so now I came to tell you this cause and effect.
你杀我，我杀你，这是没有完的时候。所以现在你也不要害怕，我不会杀你的。
You kill me, I kill you. There's no end to it. So now you don't need to be afraid. I won't kill you.
这个少年想，哎，这个事情已经这么多年了，他是个外国人，如果不是这么回事，他怎么会知道呢？
This person thought about it. This incident has passed in so many years. He's a foreigner. If it is not as he said, how could he know?
他说：“哎，他们既然这样子，你现在来干什么呢？”我就告诉你啊，这种因缘。
In that case, why did you come now? I'm just telling you this type of cause and condition.
现在我要还度我前生呢一个一同修道的一个朋友。这个人说：“你的朋友在什么地方？”
Now I need to. I still need to save a friend whom I cultivated with in my past life. This person said, where is your friend?
说他在江西那个地方。于是乎，这个少年他说：“我也去跟你看一看去。”
He said, he is in Jiangxi. Jiangxi is the place. So this young lad said, I'll go with you to have a look as well.
就跟他去，一起呀就有30多人，都跟着这个安世高啊去到庐山去。
Then he went with him. Together there were over 30 people, followed this guy, An Shigao. They went to Lu Mountain.
到庐山，进庐山这个地方有个叫红亭湖，这红亭湖啊，的这个湖岸上就有个庙。
Lu Mountain. Near Lu Mountain there was a place called Gongting Lake. This Gongting Lake, there was a temple on the lake where
这个庙啊，这个神非常的灵啊，很灵感的。你呀，在这个湖里头走啊，你要到那儿烧一支香啊，叩几个头，你这个船。
this temple has a god that's very efficacious, very inspirational. As you travel in the lake, if you go there to offer an incense.
那就没有风浪，就很平稳的就在这湖里行过去了。
And make a few bows. Your boat will experience no wind or waves and will travel through the lake smoothly.
如果你不烧香呢，那个地方就很大浪啊，会把你这个船给翻了，啊，有这种情形。
If you don't offer incense, then that place would have huge waves that would capsize your boat. There were such cases.
并且有一次，有一个做生意的人呢，想要这个庙里头的这个神的竹子颁布，神的竹子啊。
Also one time, there was a businessman who wanted the god's bamboos from this temple. This bamboo, God's bamboo.
那么求这个神也没有许可给他，也没有说 yes is no 啊，他自己。
Then he begged this god. This god didn't grant him. Neither did he say yes nor no.
你就把这个竹子庙上的竹子就偷去了，你说怎么样啊？
He himself then stole this bamboo from the temple, stole them. Can you tell what happened?
到这个拿到船上，这个船就翻过来了，这人都死了，但是这个竹子呢，又都回来。
But this bamboo came back again, back to the temple. All the stolen bamboo returned.
到这个庙上来了，啊，所偷去的竹子又都回来了。 样子一来，这一般人更相信这个神了，说哦，这个神真是有灵感的。
Because of this, ordinary people believed in this God even more. They said, "Oh, this God is for real. He has responses."
这么，所以以后更多人相信这个神。
Like this, so later more people believed in this God.
在这个1000里地以内，都也知道这个神是有灵验、有灵感的。那么这个安世高带着30多个人也。
Within 1,000 miles, everybody knew this God is efficacious and inspirational than the over 30 people that An Shigao brought over.
这个走到这个湖这儿也上去，就烧香，拜这个神。安世高他没有去。
All went to this lake. They also went up the weir to offer incense and bow to this God, but An Shigao didn't go.
那么，其余的人呢，都信神的，都到那拜这个神。拜这个神，这个神就说话了。
The rest of the people all believed in God, all went there to bow to this God, but this God spoke.
Spirit is not God. Excuse me, God is a heavenly being. This is a spirit.
就说你们船上有一个沙门，你呀，请这个沙门上来见我。
He said, in your boat, there's a Sharamana. You, please invite this Sharamana over to see me.
这个大家一听，喂，这个神真是有神通啊！那么船上一个这有个沙门的都知道。
Once everybody heard this, oh, this spirit truly has spiritual penetration. He even knows there's a Sharamana on our boat.
Shramana is no A. The first A should be gone. It's okay.
于是乎就去叫这个安世高也上来说这个神呢，现在请你去呢。
So they went to call this An Shigao to also come over. They said, "This spirit invites you to go there now."
安世高说：“我就是来度这个神的。”上到岸上了，安世高就说：“老同参。”
An Shigao said, "I came to save this spirit." An Shigao went up to shore and said, "Buddy co-cultivator."
Fellow co-cultivator.
Fellow co-cultivator.
你现在还是这么大的脾气哈！有人不恭敬你，你就叫他这个船就翻了，就死很多人。
You still have such a big temper now. Somebody doesn't respect you. You make his boat capsize, and many people died.
然后就给他说法，这个神就说了，我现在自己都不知道怎么办。
I believe. Then he spoke Dharma for him, spoke Dharma. Then the spirit said, now I myself don't even know what to do.
我知道我 今生这是堕落到这一个做神呢，这个管了很远的地方，这1000里地以内的地方啊，我都管。
I knew this life I have fallen to be a spirit, am in charge of a very vast place. Within this 1,000 miles, I am in charge of it all.
但是我要死了，我知道一定堕地狱的，因为我造的罪孽很多。
But I'm going to die. I know for sure I will fall into the hell because I created many offenses.
禅师高说：“你不要忧愁。我这次来呀，也就是来度你的。你以前和我是老朋友。”
This Shigao said, don't worry. I came this time is to save you. We were good friends in the past.
那么，你既然知道你做错了，现在你可以出来和我见一见面呢。你把你的本相现出来。
Now that you knew that you were wrong, now you can come out to meet with me. You should show your original form.
这个神说不可以的，我要出来一现我的本相，被人都喝死了，人人都会恐惧的。
The spirit said, "No, I cannot. If I come out, once I showed my original form, people will be scared to death, and everybody will be scared."
安世高说不会的，他们现在不会怕你的，你现出来我看一看喽。
Shigao said, "No, now they will not be afraid of you. You can come out. Let me have a look."
这个神，就在那个床后边，他那有一个床啊，在床后边就伸出了一个头。
This spirit came out from behind that bed. There was a bed there. Behind the bed, he stuck out his head.
这一个头啊，大哟，很粗很粗的，是个什么头呢？是个大蟒蛇的头，就是那摩诃罗切那种的头。
This head, probably very, very sick. What kind of head? Was the head of a huge python, Maharaga type of head.
这个安世高就给他说法，给他诵经啊、持咒啊，来超度他，超度他，这个蟒蛇就哭起来了。
This Shigao then spoke Dharma for him, read sutra, how mantra for him, to save him. Then this python cried.
哭的，这个眼睛流的泪，好像下雨那么样子，泪如雨下，就哭得很厉害，完了这个蟒蛇就说
cried, tears flowing down the eyes like rain. Tears falling like rain. Then cried very hard. Later, this python said,
说我这个寿命就快死了。我死如果我把我这个身体要在这个地方露出来
said, this lifespan, I'm about to die. I die if my body is exposed at this place.
人 身体太丑陋了，人看着都不好看。我要到山西呀，那有一个宅。
People, my body is too ugly. People see it, all think it doesn't look good. I would like to go to Shanxi. There is a swamp there.
一定会有一个宅呀，我要到那地方去死去。宅，那个有很多泥，那个，我到那个地方去死去。
There's a swamp there. I would like to go there to die. There are a lot of mud in the swamp. I will go there to die.
于是乎啊，这安世高又回到船上啊，坐船就走。在这个船走的时候，在那个山上啊，庐山那个。
So An Shigao went back to the boat and left by boat. When this boat was leaving on this mountain,
山上这个蟒蛇又现出来，又向他这个来叩头。这个一般。
On Lu mountain, this python appeared again to bow to him.
人呢就向这个蟒蛇来摆手，摆手，他意思也就说 say goodbye， 这么挥手。
This group of people waved at this python, probably meant goodbye. Then this python disappeared.
那么这个蟒蛇也没有了，没有在晚间，又来一个年轻的人，到这儿就给这个安世高就跪下了叩头。
At night, a young man came, arrived and kneeled to this An Shigao, knelt and bowed.
他又给他说法，超度他，然后这个年轻人就没有了，就在船上就没有了。
He spoke Dharma for him again, saved him. Then this young man disappeared on the boat.
一般人们也是很奇怪的，安世高就对他的一些个信徒就说你。
That group of people also felt that was very strange. An Shigao told his disciples.
知道这个青年人是谁呀？就是那个洪庭湖那个庙里头那个神，现在他来谢谢我。
You know who this young man was? It was the spirit from the Gongting Lake Temple. Now he came to thank me.
以后他就走了，这个地方这个庙神呢也不灵了，以后再求什么也没有什么感应了。
Then later he left this place. This temple spirit was no longer efficacious. Later people begged, but don't have any response.
在山西这个地方啊，有一个宅，那个地方啊，就现出一个大蟒蛇有。
Then at Shanxi, there was a swamp. In that place appeared a dead, huge python.
有几里路那么长呢，那么一个大蟒蛇在那死了，所以山西那
Several miles long, such a huge python died. 这
个地方啊， 现在比较蛇村，比较蛇村的那个地方，有那一条村呢，比较那个看出来比较蛇村。
So that place in Shanxi now is called Snake Village. That place is called Snake Village. That village is called Snake Village.
这是这个安世高啊，他度这个洪庭神呢、庙神呢这件事情。
Hey, this is An Shigao saving this Gongting Lake spirit, the temple spirit.
当时不知多少人都知道这件事，所以很多人。
This matter, don't know how many people were there, don't know how many people all knew what happened.
都信佛，那么信佛啊，这个安世高又对这个杀死他这个人呢，又说我现在还。
So many people all believed in Buddhism. They believed in Buddhism. Now, this An Shigao also told the one who killed him.
还要到一个地方去啊，到一个地方去，还是还报去，还是还这个命债去。
Now I still need to go to one place. To go to one place, still to return retribution, still to return life retribution.
那么在没去之前呢，
Okay, now we can stop here tonight. That's is on and on. Tonight we went through 132 slides. That's enough. Questions or comments? So apparently, An Shigao was a fourth-stage arhat, don't you think? The fourth-stage arhats are not afraid to die. Okay, so what he did was to help his fellow cultivator, that Python, to cross him over. So what does it mean to the Chinese, at least to these people crossing over? It means that he enabled that Python to go back to the human realm. Okay, because the fourth-stage arhats cannot do more than that. Okay, so that young man came, that's the future body of that Python. Okay, so we came to thank him. So crossing over here means that he saved the Python from the lives of an animal. He escaped the animal realm. You're in animal realm, that Python there, the Python spirit will still be there for a long, long time. Okay, and create a lot of offenses. So he's put a stop to that. And the Python then came back to the human realm and continued the cultivation. So this is what they call crossing over. Okay? Jewel Mountain has a comment.
Jewel Mountain says on slide 126, there was a word translated to li. It was translated to miles, but in Chinese, a li is actually about 0.22 of a mile.
Yeah, something like that. It doesn't matter that much. But yes, it's not a mile, absolutely. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Yeah? Okay, then we stop here tonight. Thank you all.